Well, and it's where even if you drop back to 3-wood, you just don't hit a 3-wood that much straighter than driver. And so it's like, well, I'm just going to put this one in the fairway. Like, again, good luck with that. Like, it's just not how it works. So, yes, you will hit a fairway more often with 3-wood than driver. I shouldn't say you will, you might.
Mm-hmm.
Some people don't. I mean, I definitely have gotten rid of a 3-wood and I just have a driver and a mini driver now. I don't even consider carrying a 3-wood. I can't imagine a scenario where I'll ever carry a 3-wood again.
That's interesting. Yeah, I love when people think too, I'm going to hit the 3-wood to lay up. I'm going to play it safe. But in reality, you could hit the rough just as easily. Not to mention you're going to be farther back, which is just going to make it harder to hit it closer to the pin.
Well, and that's the deal is that like best case scenario for most people, you're going to hit the fairway 5 to 7% more of the time, but 100% of the time you're going to be 30 or 40 yards further. Like that's just, it's not quite as bad of a coin flip bet as I offered earlier with 2-to-1 odds, but the odds are being destroyed by the fact that you're going to have a longer shot, approach shot every single time.
And the other part of that too, to me, is you talk about it a lot inside the program. It's just playing one shot shape. Like I felt so guilty of trying to do the 9-shot drill like Tiger, trying to hit the high draws, the low cuts, trying to do exactly what the hole said you should do, and play it like the architect wanted. And as soon as I just started, like I literally listened to your stuff. And when numbers are back behind it, like that's how my mind works. And I was like, okay, well then it's just, this is logic. Like if you're trying to hit all these other shots. And I think you even referenced, was it Brooks Koepka's coach had mentioned
Claude
that,
Harmon.
I want to say.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
so,
Claude, I've got the quote actually right here on my desktop because
okay.
I send it out to people so often. Let me find that exactly which one
Yeah,
it is.
I mean,
Here.
stop trying to hit 9 shots, basically.
Yes, this is going all the way back to 2015, I think, is when I clipped this quote because it was before Brooks was Brooks, and I just had read it in an article. It may have been a different article, PGA Tour, where he was saying that he went back and simplified his practice to just getting back to one shape in 2015. But he like had the leader, was in second place through the first round at River Highlands. And the quote from Claude Harmon, who again is Butch Harmon's son, he's one of the best instructors out on the PGA Tour. The guy's phenomenal at what he does. And it says, when they first met, Koepka was hitting a draw and wrestling with different shot shapes. Harmon focused on simplifying his approach. And the quote is, so many guys come out on tour trying to hit all the shots. They want to be diverse ball strikers. I see so many players trying to get good at 4 to 5 different shot types, and they aren't good at any of them. The punchline is they're talking about tour players. They're not like club guys. He's like, these guys are trying to get good at 4 to 5 different shots, and they suck at all of them. And then he finishes it off by saying, we worked on making Brooks's golf swing as repeatable and one-dimensional as possible. And that's, a guy like Keith Mitchell, who I started working with after the first 2 events of last season. And he drives, he's literally just the best driver. I mean, again, everyone's like Rory. I'm like, no, actually, Keith is as good or better. Keith is year in, year out. And last year he finished 4th in strokes gained driving again. And when we first have our conversations, he's like, yeah, I only cut the driver. And it's just amazing once you understand. And again, I don't care if it's a cut or a draw, but with the driver specifically, just doing one thing, it's just such a hard club it's the longest club being swung the fastest with the flattest face in the bag, the least amount of loft. It's just a really hard club to barely change the face to path relationship successfully. And again, the biggest problem is the fact that double crosses are just always off the planet. So I cut 100% of my tee shots. And if I get up somewhere now and I'm going to try to hit a draw with the driver, my miss is going to typically be at least a third of the time a block cut. So now I've aimed it further right and I've block cut it. It's just off the planet. And so while, yes, I get it, it'd be cool to hit a draw on this hole, I just am going to double cross it far too often. It's just not the play. And if the hole has trees or a crossing hazard or whatever that makes the hole not, favor a fade, then I just need to change clubs rather than try to hit the shape the different direction.
And for me too, it's like just so much easier mentally because you're not thinking like, because I always play a cut as well. So when I was trying to play two ways, I'm hitting a draw. I'm like, okay, well, starting to think mechanical when I'm on the golf course and thinking, oh, I need to maybe take a little more inside, and kind of roll my hands. And I'm start thinking with a cut, I know that's my shot. I get up there, I pick the left side of the fairway or wherever it is, and I just can swing freely. I'm not thinking as much. And I feel like that just helps so much more clear you up, because if you're thinking about mechanics out there, especially the everyday golfer, it's going to be really, really hard to execute that shot consistently.
I mean, and the key to why I keep saying with the driver specifically, again, I am a big proponent of just doing one thing with the irons, but also what you're technically doing when you change shot shape is you're altering the face and path relationship. Well, with the driver, because you can't really alter ball position, you only have one way to change the face to path relationship, and that's literally by changing your swing. So you're, by definition, again, as Claude says, we worked on making Brooks' swing as repeatable and one-dimensional as possible. With the driver, you literally only have one way of shaping it both ways, and that's by changing your swing. And that's just a bad idea. At least with the irons, you can move ball position with a 7-iron around 3 or so balls, and it's not the end of the world. So if the ball is further up in your stance, the path is going to tend to be further left, which would favor a cut. If the ball is further back in your stance, it's going to push the path right, which will favor a draw.